Hi. In this video on retirement, I'm going to mention so many common aspects, so many common sense things. You'll say, well, why is he telling me this? I know this anyway. So let's consider this. The three most important aspects of being retired. We have a physical body which we need to sustain over time, and in our civilized world we need money to sustain it. So what's the most important thing? Our physical well-being, of course, so that it stretches over the time we have available to us. So I'm going to talk about the physical side of things first. If we retire early, and I've said this almost ad nauseum, if we retire early, then we will have longer golden years of retirement. Years when we're still relatively healthy, vigorous, still passionate about life, still able to do things, still able to travel, still able to make friends easily or easier, etc. So retiring as early as we can is important, while we still have our physical strength, our ability to do things. Also, by retiring early, we can get into things and develop our mental skills. Remember, this business about getting older and losing our mind often comes down to our not being able to learn new things, or not being willing to learn new things. What do they call it? Neuroplasticity. It's now a proven thing that we can keep learning well into our old age. If we retire early enough, we're motivated to do that. If we retire very late in life, it's a bit harder to do that. So obviously, retiring early, looking after ourselves physically is very, very important. And also, keeping mentally alert, learning new things, gives us a passion for living. So there again, once again, retire early as we can. Now, we don't know how much time we have ahead of us. In other words, it's a bit of a gamble. We could retire with a lot of money and find ourselves being frugal and dying 3 months after we retire. So the kids get it after all. Or we could live for a long, long time, spend the children's inheritance, as they say. We do not know. But we generally have a pretty good idea of our health well before we retire. If we've looked after ourselves, gone to the gym, gone for walks, developed good habits of eating, etc., then the chances are we will live for a good third of our life in retirement. If we retire at 60, we could live to 90. Now, I want you to understand this. In Australia, I was listening to some statistics about Australian retirees. The compulsory, not the compulsory retirement age, the age in which the old age pension cuts in for Australians nowadays is 67. Used to be 65, but it's now gone up to 67, and will likely rise even further as we move ahead in time. But the surprising thing is this: the average age people actually retire is 57. 57. It's about 59.9 years of age for men and 54.5 years of age for women, the average being 57. 10 years before we get our pension. Now you might think, well, Will I have to hold on till I get my pension? No. No, you won't. See a financial planner, and I'm pretty sure that you can retire early and retire comfortably. Providing, of course, you don't have any big debts when you retire. You've got the mortgage paid off, no big car repayments. In other words, you're pretty okay that way. No big debts on the credit card, and you'll be fine. Now, what's the other aspect of health? I've long been a believer in body, mind and spirit. You have to look after all three. Now, what's this spirit got to do with it? Something to do with religion? Not at all. But you do have to have a philosophy of life whereby you believe that you are an immortal soul. If you don't, you get very depressed as you get towards the end of your life. But if you have some sort of belief, it doesn't matter what it is, providing you think, well, I am a soul experiencing an earthly life, then you'll have a different attitude altogether. And if you have that different attitude, you'll know that whatever you're learning, whatever you're gaining, nothing will be lost. We don't like to lose. If we keep adding things, knowledge, skills, values, knowledge of principles, etc., as time goes on and we continue to grow into our old age, becoming wiser and willing to share that wisdom, then we will have a purpose in life in our old age. And having a purpose, whatever it is, whether it's looking after the grandkids or serving in a charity or expanding our circle of real influence to do good, we'll live longer and we'll enjoy it more. This video is getting a bit long, but those 3 points of body, mind and spirit are important, as are mind, body and an income to sustain them. Look after all 3. Be diligent. Be diligent. Be careful. But most of all, find your particular passion, your particular niche, your particular gift, and give that to the world. And you will live a long, happy retirement.